Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Computer America Show. As always, a wonderful program planned for you this evening. In the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the first hour, we're going to have UnbreakableCoin. That's right. I mean, no matter how hard you bend it or chew it or stomp on it, it will not break. No, it is an alternative to Bitcoin technology, virtual coins. And we're going to be talking to the company's founder and CEO, Jim Blasco, about Unbreakable Coin.
1 minute until showtime.
So sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we begin 2 hours of Computer America.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live. It's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
Ben is right here. Hi, Ben. There he is. Hi, yes, exactly. Hello. I think someone in the chat room can't see, or he's asking where you are. There we have more people coming into the chat room as we speak, and I have to say hello to them. But welcome into the program, and we've got a terrific 2-hour show planned for you, as we do every Monday through Friday. In the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news that's brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Some interesting stories that we have in the pipeline. So that looks really cool things to talk about in the technology world. And in the first hour, we're going to be talking to the CEO and founder of UnbreakableCoin.com. Now, you might ask, what is an unbreakable coin? It has to do with cryptocurrency, an alternative to Bitcoin. And we have the company's CEO and developer, Jim Blasco, here on the program. We'll get to him in a few moments. If you have a comment or a question for our guest or anything we're talking about tonight, give us a call. We have open phone lines. Give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. That'll get you on and get you through. You can also go to our brand spanking new website, check out all the features. There's a lot to see on our new Computer America website. And one of the things that you can do is join us in our brand new chat room. You can see it right there on the pull-down menu. It says Show Lounge, or you can go to the full screen chat room. We give you several different options to do it. And just type in a username, and that'll be the name you'll be known by when you go into the chat room, and that's all you have to do, and you're in. It's a real simple, easy to use chat room, and we have a lot of people in there now participating. We'd love to see you in there. Just go to the chat room. But of course, the easiest way to contact us, call us at 347-884-8881. Ben, my co-host, continues to improve all the wonderful audio video things, because see, not only can you listen to the Computer America Show, because we are, after all, a radio broadcast primarily, but you can also watch us now. We have live video streaming, and that's putting it mildly, because you can see myself, you can see Ben, sometimes you can see the guests, you can see websites, you can do demonstrations. Ben will be the real audio video thing, because you'll be able to see the websites that we're talking about superimposed. He's using green screen
right behind my pretty face.
That's right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, the website itself, lots of things to check out there. Aaron's been working hard on it. Worth going around there and just poking around, seeing what you find. But for the shows and whatnot, I've been trying to stress to my coworkers that most people listen to purely the audio, but I guess the point was raised to me that even if you do just listen to the audio, but you want to hear some of these demonstrations, or you want to see some of these demonstrations, not tonight, but on some other nights, and we talk about them and we kind of go in depth with the video part of it. We archive all of our video, so you can always go back and check out exactly what we're talking about, even if you're just listening to us right now. You can always go check the video later. So we definitely recommend that. Find all that stuff on our website. But I think that's about it.
Yeah, and again, you can see everything as well at our on our Computer America website. You can watch the video. You just go into the show lounge, or right on the home page, you just click it just says click here to watch the show, and it will start up automatically. And you can not only hear everything goes on in the program, but you can see everything as well. Also, in the bottom of every page now, you can see we've installed the Blog Talk Radio widget, so you can listen to previous shows there as well. And also, I've added a link in the show lounge, which allows you to hear just the audio portion of the program, the live streaming audio portion at Blog Talk Radio, the website there. So we have there are many things for you to explore and check out at Computer America, and we encourage you to do all of them and find what works for you. Okay. All right. So anything else before we?
No, I think we've stalled for enough time. I think the traps are set. We're good to go.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. And I guess when the crypto communities asked for a crypto coin that was similar to Bitcoin, but only better, our guest tonight created something called UnbreakableCoin. So what is UnbreakableCoin? Well, according to our guest tonight, the name really suits the coin perfectly, because so far it has never been broken once. Not once, okay? Here with us to explain all about UnbreakableCoin is the developer of UnbreakableCoin and the company's CEO, Jim Blasco. Jim, welcome into Computer America. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, our pleasure. You're in Vegas?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm located in the heart of the city.
All right, wonderful. So, all right. Now, a lot of people out there, we obviously have a technology-oriented audience, but still, I'd like for you, in your own words, kind of explain what cryptocurrency is. And I think most everybody is familiar with Bitcoin. Can you just give us a little bit of an overview for our listeners what we're talking about here before we get into UnbreakableCoin?
Yeah. Basically, cryptocurrency is the fancy name for digital money. It's currency. It's not really currency, but it's a commodity, and it gets a value from these exchanges, from the users who decide to purchase it. And those are really the people who decide what the price is worth. Nobody can set their own price. Like, I can't say UnbreakableCoin's worth $1. It's the communities who decide what it's worth, what they're willing to pay for it, or what somebody's willing to sell their items or goods or services, and how much UnbreakableCoin they would charge for that. So it is a money, if you will. It is a digital money. Bitcoin is kind of the start of it. We've all been hearing about it for years. At first, it was kind of just a computer hobbyist thing. Then all of a sudden it grew. People started buying stuff with it. People started accepting it. And now it's becoming a monster. Bitcoin is huge. Bitcoin's very big.
Yeah, I mean, it's being accepted by Amazon, retailers, it's becoming really a acceptable most in lots of places, and very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's happening fast. At first, it was slow growth, and that's what we're experiencing with Unbreakable Coin right now is slow growth, which is fine. That's kind of how I'd like it to be. I don't want it to be an overnight success, because if it was, then it could be another day could be an overnight failure. So I kind of like how it grows with the community, just like Bitcoin did.
Well, didn't Bitcoin it was one of the first, so it didn't have it had a lot of territory that it had to cover more so than other cryptocurrency, because it was one of the first. And people go, now when you hear a cryptocurrency, people have a general idea of what it is. With Bitcoin, when it first started, people went, huh, what's that? And sort of had to gain acceptance. And it's been up and down. The road has, it's been, one day one Bitcoin is worth a few hundreds of dollars, and the next day it's worth a fraction of that, and it seems to be very volatile. It looks like things are settling down as it becomes more accepted. What do you think?
I think that it's still volatile. We're seeing changes every day in price. And, a couple years ago, it was, December, I think it was December or November of 2013, it hit $1,200.
Wow.
And that was really high. And of course, that was just before China said they weren't going to accept it and caused a big price drop. And then Mt. Gox soon after that got hit.
Oh yeah, that didn't do anybody good. That didn't do anybody any good, did it?
Yeah, a lot of bad press came out on Bitcoin for a while, to the point where it got to where it's at now, and it's kind of rebuilding. Bitcoin really laid the groundwork for other alternative crypto coins. And I think if the founder, Satoshi Nakamoto, had he stuck around, Bitcoin would be a little different than it is today. I think it'd be bigger too.
Well,
and I think it'd be a lot more trusted, because there'd be somebody there behind it besides the Bitcoin Foundation.
Well,
which
nobody knows.
Basically, they control Bitcoin now.
Nobody knows who he is, right? For a while, he was like the mystery man, and nobody seemed to know anything about this guy, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different people in their theories. I don't like to get into the conspiracy stuff too much. I've heard that maybe the government created Bitcoin in order to pay off the national debt with China, and China said, "No way, we're not taking Bitcoin." And then the price went down. Next thing you know, the government's auctioning off all their Bitcoin. The first auction, they got about $600 a piece for their Bitcoins when Tim Draper came in with his group and bought a bunch. And that was road seized Bitcoin. Yeah,
I guess
there's a lot of big money in Bitcoin behind it, and they're trying to rebuild it and bring it back, and they will. There's a lot of big money behind Bitcoin, so it's not going anywhere. It's just going to keep growing and becoming more widely accepted.
So tell me, is as someone who I guess you would be competing against Bitcoin, or like using the same kind of technology, like are you hoping that Bitcoin does come back and then everyone sees like, oh, Unbreakable Coin is has such better security and features, we're going to use that instead? Like, are you hoping that all the other cryptocurrencies fail, or like what is the landscape of cryptocurrency?
No, definitely not. I'm actually an advocate for cryptocurrency. It's not just Bitcoin, it's not just Unbreakable Coin, but I kind of like crypto in general, the idea of it. And one of the things I've done, well, you're right, there is a lot of competition out there. A lot of these alternative crypto coins want the other alternative crypto coins to fail. Yeah, where I've been different in that aspect is I've tried to help them. I created this auction site, Unbreakable Coin Auctions, which was originally just for UNB. It's kind of like eBay, but there's no credit cards or PayPal. It's just cryptocurrency. Now, after I added Bitcoin and Litecoin, I said, you know what? Let's give these other cryptos a chance. Let's give them some real world usage, because 99% of these alternative crypto coins have no real world usage. The only usage they have is on an exchange where it's traded for Bitcoin. And that's fine, but that gets really boring.
Well, there's so many.
If you can't buy something with an alternative coin, what good is it?
I've heard of things like, I still know how to pronounce it. It says Dogecoin or Doggy Coin.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Doge is the correct term.
Dogecoin. Okay. I mean, there are a lot of them out there, but Bitcoin seems to be the one.
Yeah, there is.
That seems to. They were the first, and I think also seems to be the strongest. But again, just in general, when we talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, is this digital money supposed to replace what we call real money, and what makes it different than real money?
A lot of people out there would love to see it replace, real money, but it's never going to do that. Governments are never just going to, keel over, and the world is never just going to accept some digital money as the only payment system out there. So what it's going to do is just piggyback. It's going to be, probably the most widely used online payment system eventually. It's going to take some time, but it's very convenient. And a lot of people like the aspect that it's, decentralized. It's not something that's run by a single government. There is misconception to that, because a lot of these coins really aren't decentralized like they claim to be, especially ones that are always making changes to their code, ones that are making changes to their name, their brand. Now, if somebody out there has control to do that, let's just say, for instance, you have 1 million Unbreakable coin and you love the name, and you paid for them. And then all of a sudden I decide tomorrow to change the name of the coin. Is that fair? I mean, that's not really decentralized if you ask me. And I've seen this happening a lot over the last year. What kind of made us special was that we are truly decentralized. I'm the only guy who has access to make any changes to that code. And I don't allow, and I've had a lot of requests to make changes, but I don't change anything. We're not changing the name. We're not changing the way the code works. Nothing. Now, because it's been left alone like that for a year and never been touched since released, it's never broke.
So that's what makes
We've never had any problems. We've never been into maintenance. Nothing.
So that's what makes it unbreakable, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons we're unbreakable. Second reason I'd say is we're built off Bitcoin's core. We're a SHA-256D just like Bitcoin. We're a clone of Bitcoin, essentially. And the idea was to give the world a second chance at Bitcoin or something just like it, but to make it a little more fair. Put a name and a face on it. Put a phone number on it. Put a company address in it, and get an LLC license, and open up a 10,000 square foot warehouse where anybody could just walk in or call me anytime. Like we didn't even know who Satoshi was.
No, and
and now he's gone.
Yeah, we don't even know him. Yeah, we still don't know who he is.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these other coins are, anonymous, kind of just like Bitcoin was. And a lot of people like the idea of making an anonymous payment, but anything can really be tracked, especially with the blockchain. You can track anything.
Well,
on these coins? So.
All right, you say the blockchain. What is the blockchain?
Yeah. Well, the blockchain is a public ledger, and it just records all the Bitcoin transactions, all the mining, all the fees paid out. It's publicly available to anybody who has a Bitcoin wallet or an Unbreakable coin wallet. We all have a blockchain, and our blockchain works just like theirs. We require miners what's known as proof of work, where people are mining the coin and creating transactions, and all this gets ledged and is trackable. Now, the beauty of that is that it's public. It's not private information. Like banking institutes aren't going to show you everything. They only show the IRS that stuff, Mm-hmm. But with this, everybody can look and see who has how much Bitcoin in their wallet, or how much Unbreakable coin in their wallet. Is it being transferred? Is it being spent? And this is how the blockchain works. It's consistently doing checks with other blockchains, which is the same blockchain. Let me rephrase that. It's consistently doing checks with other nodes, which is how the blockchain is held. It's held in these nodes. Nodes are wallets, basically. So if you have an Unbreakable coin wallet, you have the public ledger of the blockchain right on your computer, and you can go through it.
Okay, but now, you mentioned a couple of terms. You said mining, for example. And I understand that in the early days, the people could mine for Bitcoin or whatever digital currency, and they could actually make a lot of money. But I understand that it's getting to the point now that you can get, an incredible. You can spend a fortune on computer hardware. Hundreds of computers. Trying to get
people seem to be taking it to an industrial scale as soon as they realize that this was actually money, and so that kind of leaves the the people sitting at home with one computer kind of thinking, why should I bother?
Right. Well, here's the thing. It's definitely not profitable right now to mine Bitcoin or Unbreakable Coin and pretty much any other crypto coin out there. It's not profitable. What happens is later on, when the coin has gone up in value, now all that time you spent became profitable. So it's kind of hard to explain, but with mining, they're constantly also coming out with new equipment, which is more energy efficient and faster. And this is not, we're no longer using computers to mine. We have specialized gear. And like you said, it can be very expensive. And some people are taking it to that next level where they have farms, mining farms, just huge warehouses full of this mining equipment. And those guys are the ones that are getting most of the Bitcoins. You're right. But there's still pools out there where anybody can get a little bit of Bitcoin if they've got a small device like an ant miner, and they can still get some Bitcoin. Or they can definitely get Unbreakable Coin because we're not as hard to get as Bitcoin yet because we haven't been around as long. So essentially, right now, it's easier to get Unbreakable Coin than Bitcoin by far.
What's the trade-off? If you can get them, are you saying it's easier to get Unbreakable Coin because you haven't been around as long? Is Bitcoin more valuable than Unbreakable Coin? I mean,
Oh yes, by far. Unbreakable Coin roughly is about 2 cents right now, and Bitcoin's around 240. So there's a big difference there. So it's quite a bit easier to get Unbreakable Coin at this point because again, we are much newer coin. We're only a year old. Well, a year in a couple of months. But yeah, we're pretty young. Our difficulty level hasn't got as high as theirs. So as people are mining, there's something called a difficulty factor built into these crypto coins, which makes it harder and harder to get as time goes on. That's why newer and more efficient equipment has to come out because the old stuff is just not profitable anymore. And a lot of people they have the wrong idea. They want to mine these coins and they want to sell them as fast as they can and turn it into fiat. And that's really not the way to go, especially if you're, a crypto enthusiast, because this stuff's wild. I watched Unbreakable Coin go from, 2 cents to 25 cents in 3 days. Yeah. I've watched that happen. I've watched other coins go from $1 to $100 in a week.
Well, what's something that?
So there is a lot of.
But something that volatile. I mean, that's worse than commodities. I mean, you have something that volatile. Yeah. This has got to be something that this has got to be disposable income or something because you can't. If going up and down like that can be.
Well, if your retirement portfolio is very heavily invested in Bitcoin, that is going to cause a lot of stress. But I think for people who kind of keep it and want to sit on it and especially invest in something like like Unbreakable Coin, I mean at 2 cents it might be worth it just to buy $5 worth of Unbreakable Coin and then just sit on it for a couple of days and see if it goes anywhere. Like just seeing where it goes is probably worth it more than heavily investing in it.
Yeah, and believe me, there's been people out there that have made their money off of Unbreakable Coin. I've watched people. I've had people thank me, "Hey, you did great on Unbreakable Coin," and then the price come back down to 2 cents, and I was like, "Oh, geez." But we don't quit. We're still here, and we're still promoting and still coming up with new websites and places to use Unbreakable Coin and making partnerships. And hey, I'm on the Computer America show.
Well, yeah,
so that should tell you something.
All right, so
we're definitely giving out our best effort to make Unbreakable Coin a commodity out there. There's a lot of these crypto coins, and it's unfortunate that so many of them don't do anything.
Well, how many are there?
And there's something else that we've been seeing a lot, like IPOs and ICOs.
Yeah. How many are there? You mentioned
this is something where people are paying for the coin up front, not even knowing what it's going to be worth.
Well, how many?
And a lot of people call these scam coins, which actually hurt our industry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. How many coin types are there? Are they even countable? Do we even know?
Well, right now there's 560 different cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap. Pripsy.com, which is America's most popular Bitcoin exchange, they hold, I think it's over 200 markets. So, there's a lot of different coins to choose from. And that makes it very hard for somebody new to this who doesn't know how to read, between the lines and see what's actually a scam coin and what's not. A lot of these scam coins have groups behind them to help promote them.
What are you saying?
Which is terrible.
So you're saying a scam coin is fraudulent? You're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, well, I guess you can't say fraudulent, but it was designed only to be sold for Bitcoin. You know, the developers or the people who released it, all they wanted to do is they pre-mined it and they want to sell it to you and then make the next coin and do it again.
Mm.
So, you know, when you see somebody who's been working on a coin for 6 months or a year, you know, they're still around even when the prices went down, that's kind of the guys that you want to look into for, you know, investing your money, because they're actively trying to do things. You know, I've been called an active dev, which is an honor, by the owner of Cryptsy, Paul Vernon. I've been interviewed by Slashdot and things like this because, and I'm on Computer America, because you guys recognize that we're putting out an effort to try to make this real, you know, and try to get this out there into the hands of everybody. And I'm glad it's still just 2 cents right now, because it gives the opportunity to everybody to own some.
All right. So
there's only 2.2 million unbreakable coin in the world right now, you know, where there's over 11 million Bitcoin right now, 12 million.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's suppose that number never changes, right? There's only a certain amount, and that's it, right?
Well, there's a fixed amount of 22 million Bitcoin that will ever exist, and that goes back to the original idea of a decentralized payment system and what made Bitcoin better, because obviously governments can print money all day.
But you can't print Bitcoin.
Well, there's a fixed number.
Yeah.
Right. You can't print more Bitcoins once they're all out there. Same goes for Unbreakable Coin. And there's different types of crypto coins. There's ones that aren't capped, meaning they're unlimited. Generally, these are what are known now as POS. Don't get the wrong idea. Proof of stake. But some people like to think the other way on it, because it's an unlimited supply, and it just, you know, the rich stay rich with these coins. They can stake them and gain interest by holding them in their wallets. But the only problem is there's no cap on these coins. So it kind of goes back to a government, you know, printing money. The idea of Bitcoin was that there would be a cap, and after they were all out there, there would be no more. And that's the same idea for Unbreakable Coin. In the end, we'll have 80 million Unbreakable Coin out there, but that's going to take about 35, 40 years for that to happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can mine for Unbreakable Coin for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, simple supply and demand, like people kind of think, oh, it's a digital currency, whatever. It's all zeros and ones, Control C, Control V, and all of a sudden I have 20 Unbreakable Coin, 20 Bitcoin. I now have 2,000. Like that's the whole point of the blockchain. That's the elegance and its simplicity is that it checks and it verifies and it makes sure that there are no duplicates, and that's what makes it secure and at the same time actually worth something. But we actually had a question.
Preventing double spending in essence.
Yeah,
that's real important. That way you can't send somebody 10 Unbreakable Coin and then send them to somebody else. The blockchain keeps a really good record of everything that happens, and it does a lot of checking back and forth to make sure that those transactions are true.
Yeah, for sure. We actually had a question in the chat room that I kind of want to bring up on here, and that is this was asked by Aaron, and it's when you say that this currency is decentralized and that kind of thing, it's really beholden to no one. What do you think causes the price of Unbreakable Coin to fluctuate? Like, it's not like, well, furs are trading really poorly in China today, therefore Unbreakable Coin went down 10%. Like, what do you think causes the fluctuations?
Well, there's a lot of day traders out there, large website, and that's pretty much where most of the Unbreakable Coin trading volume comes from. We're also on C-CEX and another exchange, but they seem to be down right now. But see, people, they take profits. A lot of these day traders are just like stock traders. Now, they might take a profit on Unbreakable Coin, sell it, and then the next day they're buying it back again. So it's there's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing except that they're trying to make profits. Now, the more people that hold Unbreakable Coin and just wait to see what we come up with next, that causes supply and demand. With only 2.2 million of them out there, if 2 million of them are being held, the other 200,000 are going to be hard to get, and the price goes up. And we've seen that before in February. People who wouldn't sell their Unbreakable Coin were really happy. The price kept shooting up, and like I said, we got to like 25 cents. And then a lot of these people decided, well, it's time to take profits. You know, they've been holding Unbreakable Coin for nearly a year. Or maybe they bought it last week. I don't know. There's really no way to tell as far as that goes, because that's the exchange side. You can't see who's buying and selling. But that's what causes the prices to go up and down. I mean, every time we have a news update, prices tend to go up. And then some other coin will come out, and that's all you hear about for about a week. Everybody starts selling other coins in order to have extra funds to buy that coin. Then once you don't hear about that coin anymore, because it might have been a scam coin possibly, or the dev just quit. I mean, I've seen a lot of these guys quit after 1 month working on their coin. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, you got a lot of people out here who have spent money into this, and now you're just quitting. But that's why they remain anonymous.
Well, they quit. When they quit, do they go? They leave with these people's money? I mean, that's what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah, they're creating a coin. They're pre-mining it, so they have a bunch of them. Then they sell it. Yeah. Then they quit and go do it again.
Jim, listen, we're at the bottom of the hour here. We got to take a little commercial break, and then we'll get back to this.
Sure.
I want you to talk to us about your auctions and how that works at Unbreakable Coin.
Great.
Okay. All right, you're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are talking to the CEO and developer of Unbreakable Coin, Jim Blasco. We're going to pause for some commercial messages, and also a new news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston, and then we'll be back. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Computer America Show.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Did you bring me a cookie? This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the Antec HCP 1000 Platinum PSU. PSU stands for Power Supply Unit, that big blocky thing with all the wires near the bottom of your computer. And we're building a new system, and it's tough to calculate its total power need once we populate all the high-end slot cards, 64 gig of DDR4, a hot Intel CPU, an 8-drive array plus 2 other drives, and a dual-pump liquid cooler. We have a few 850 VA power supplies on hand that could probably handle everything, but instead, we had Antec send a new 1000 VA HCP 1000 Platinum for review. It's fully modular, meaning there are no cables coming out of the box until you put them there. And it's the first time we can remember that we had enough cables and enough connections to feed everything in the system out of the box. No adapters or cheating. The connectors are black, not white, for what Antec calls a stealth installation. The fan is under thermal control, so it stays quiet when the load isn't too high, which is another reason we like to overspec our PSUs. Bottom line, the Antec HCP 1000 Platinum PSU is powerfully nice. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes past the hour. We are talking to UnbreakableCoin right now, and we have Jim Blasco here. He is the CEO, the developer of UnbreakableCoin, and we're just getting into it. And excuse the ignorance. This might be obvious for all, but I only have a Bitcoin wallet, but do you have to have your own individual wallet, or do you guys just develop your own wallet for your Bitcoins?
Well, some people like to develop their own wallets, but mostly people just use what's out there. UnbreakableCoin has its own wallet, which is actually a lot nicer than Bitcoin's wallet, to be honest. Originally, for the first year, we had our standard wallet, and then we worked with another coin and got a new wallet. Different versions, Linux, Mac, Windows, different colors too. If you like black or if you like blue. But our wallets are really nice. They have built-in features that take you directly to the vendors that accept UnbreakableCoin. There's links that'll take you to our auction site. There's links that'll take you to the exchanges. There's a built-in block explorer, so you can real easily check transactions that have happened on the blockchain. It's UnbreakableCoin's wallets are really, really nice. A lot of people like them.
Yeah, I was just going through them, and they seem really a lot of other wallets are very bare bones, but this one actually has some some time spent on it to make it actually pretty user friendly. So
okay,
yeah.
So tell us about the
now you can have a wallets on an. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say go ahead, and then I want you to tell us about your auctions and how that works.
Okay, what I was going to mention is that with exchanges, the wallets are all on the exchange, so you can go to Cryptsy and have basically all the wallets all at one time, which is really cool. A lot of people like to store their money on Cryptsy. We have heard in the past about Mt. Gox and some of these other exchanges who have been hacked, coins stolen, exchanges shutting down. Cryptsy's got a pretty unique system, and they're very security wise over there. Those guys are really good about keeping the coins not actually on the exchange itself. They keep them kind of offline, and it prevents them from being stolen, basically. One of the other things is I think those other exchanges that have said they've been hacked, I think a lot of that's inside job stuff. I don't think they necessarily got hacked, especially when they're putting out news releases a week ahead of time saying, if we were to get hacked, here's what you say on the phone. So, and then a week later, Mt. Gox goes down. And that caused quite a ripple effect in the industry. Those Bitcoins were being sold off at other exchanges. People were getting scared. The prices crashed pretty heavy. But in essence, though, a good exchange like Cryptsy is a nice, safe place to keep your coins. It's a place that UnbreakableCoin was first available at, and I'm proud that that was the exchange that added us, because they're basically the biggest in America, most popular by far. So after I created the coin, I kind of got bored with just doing the exchange stuff. You could watch the price go up and down, but I thought, what good is these crypto coins if you can't spend them somewhere? I mean, it's really, you need vendors, and more than that, you need people around the world who are willing to accept it, not just vendors, but individuals. And the auction site made a lot of sense to me. It was one of my goals right away, and it took a little while, but we got it, and it works great. And we've got about 40,000 users who signed up. There's cool stuff on there. You can buy mining equipment, cell phones, tablets. You can buy a 2-night stay here in Vegas at the Aria Hotel.
Yeah.
And you can pay with UnbreakableCoin or Bitcoin or Litecoin or up to 100 other cryptocurrencies. It all depends on what the seller's willing to accept when they list their items. But there's a 3% fee, and the best part of it is that there's an escrow system that protects all the buyers. See, the part about crypto, one of the things that made it beautiful is that in competition to like credit card companies, anybody who accepted crypto never had to worry about a chargeback. you didn't have to worry about your money disappearing out of your account because MasterCard decided to take it out, from some customer dispute. So that was one real attractive thing to Bitcoin. But the problem with that is that because it's a one-way transaction, there is no way to get your money back. So it's very easy for some individual out there to rip somebody off. And Satoshi Nakamoto even talked about it in his white paper when he released Bitcoin. He explained that there needed to be some kind of mint, a safe place where you could trade or buy and sell. Well, the exchanges provide a mint, but they only exchange cryptocurrency for cryptocurrency. And a lot of users want to be able to use these cryptocurrencies to buy stuff, which makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, that's what I want to do. So the auction site has this escrow service where we protect the buyers. We hold the payment until the buyer lets us know that the item was satisfactory. Whatever they bought, service, or whatever it is, they actually got it delivered to them. And then we release the funds to the seller. Now, if the buyer never gets what he paid for, we release the funds back to the buyer. It's a good protection program. And Satoshi Nakamoto actually recommended it, and that's kind of what we went for. And it's doing pretty well. The auction site's pretty fun. It's kind of what gave UnbreakableCoin its notoriety at first.
Yeah,
and after that, you have to go to conventions and talk to people, and it's grown from there.
It's definitely something I haven't heard of.
And through the wallet too.
Yeah, but very, very convenient, and it's definitely something that I haven't seen before with any other cryptocurrency. Having this kind of auction site. I mean, it seems like you're trying to, I wouldn't say plug holes, but trying to provide things that other cryptocurrencies really haven't had. I mean, certain coins may have a community around them, and other coins may, have nothing behind them. But I think something that kind of prevents the average person from jumping into Bitcoin or jumping into any kind of cryptocurrency is that, they can't put a face to it. They can't put a name to it. They can't put people behind it. All they can think of is it's in computers. It's invisible, but it exists. And it seems like you're really trying to solve a lot of those problems with UnbreakableCoin. You're trying to put a face, your face. You're trying to put a voice, your voice. You're trying to put features with this auction, and you're trying to make it all obviously very, very transparent, since anyone can look at the code and can look at the blockchain. Is this really like what you're trying to do with UnbreakableCoin, is to set yourself apart by having all this?
Yeah, absolutely. And above that, we've hired a PR team, Michael Turpin and his PR team, Martin Stein, and these guys have been great for getting stories out there, because I'm kind of the techie guy. I'm not the guy who gets on the phone and calls and says, "Will you do a story on UnbreakableCoin?" I'm the guy who's sitting behind the computer going, "All right, what can we do next for UnbreakableCoin? What can we build next? What can we make, and how can we help somebody else?" And we team up with a lot of other crypto coins and add them to our auction site just to give them real world usage too. So it's not just about us, it's about the entire crypto idea. But, UnbreakableCoin was my way into the world of crypto. And I've really taken it serious. I take it very serious. And I think we built a lot of trust with our community. How often can you just call somebody on the phone and talk to the developer that made this thing and launched it?
You can't. You really can't.
You can't.
No, that's it. And
so we've tried to think outside the box and really, I wanted to just do something where, what would I want? Well, I would want to call somebody. I would want to know that there's a company. I would want to know that if I want to, I can buy a T-shirt and wear it with their name on it. I like those things. So that's kind of what I used the user in mind when I built UnbreakableCoin. It was built for the community.
How long did it take you to create this digital currency, Jim? I mean, how long were you working on it?
Oh man, that's the easy part. Satoshi Nakamoto did all the hard work.
Yeah.
He created this beautiful Bitcoin core and this beautiful blockchain technology, and he walked away too early. But since he walked away, it's been handed over to a group, the Bitcoin Foundation, and they are making changes to the coin. They're making possible changes to the code. And not everybody's very happy about that. I mean, some people are behind it, but I've seen more people against it. They don't want to see changes. They'd like it to stay decentralized just the way it is. Well, that's where we come in, because we're just like Bitcoin. We're based on the same code. You could call Unbreakable Coin Bitcoin Part 2. I wouldn't call it version 2, but Bitcoin Part 2. Okay, and we're trying to stick to Satoshi's original idea, which was so popular. That's what made it so great, was his vision for what this decentralized payment system could be. And I admire that, and I try to stick to that 100%.
Well,
we will remain truly decentralized.
And you keep referring to decentralization, yet
yeah,
people know where you are. You're in Vegas. You got a 10,000 foot square, warehouse. I mean, so you are and you aren't.
Well, all these coins have to be released by somebody, right?
Yeah.
All these coins have to be released by somebody. Now, it'd be much better if there was at least one person behind it that you could contact, at least one. And I think that's part of it. Otherwise, you're just, I don't know, you're buying something out of thin air. At least you can trust when you get into Unbreakable Coin that there is somebody there is somebody behind it. But I've made it proven that I won't change anything. So it's been that way for a year, almost, year and 2 months with no changes.
So then why is the idea of decentralization so important to digital currency?
Because it's not in control by any one individual. I mean, you could say I control UMB, but in essence, it's nobody's in control of it. It's just there. And I have the access to the GitHub in case there has to be a change, in case there was some major technology breakthrough and it had to be implemented. Bitcoin did it and it worked, and all of a sudden it has to go into Unbreakable Coin. Then we could possibly add that feature. But as far as I'd like to keep it just the way it is, like the original Bitcoin should have stayed, just how it was released.
So you don't like the changes then yourself?
No, I don't. No, I don't like the changes. What I think they should do is build around it, because that's completely possible. I mean, we were able to build new wallets for Unbreakable Coin without changing the source code. And there's no real reason to change the source code. Some people think that the blockchains are going to get too big. But at that point, they could always release a wallet that connects to a blockchain at a central server. And it's your blockchain's not on your computer. And that's all something that can be done over top of the existing code. Doesn't need to change the code, but they're looking to do all kinds of changes. I recently spoke to a friend who was down in the Miami convention, and he talked to one of the core developers, and he told me something that really concerned me. He said one of the core developers at Bitcoin he's hiding religious code in the coin. And I said, you got to be kidding me. I mean, not everybody feels the same about religion.
Yeah.
And the idea is that this is a worldwide currency, not, something that's just from the United States or just believes in Christianity or something like that. So I don't think there's any place for religion inside of these coins, especially buried deep in the code like a secret. So, I think they should just leave Bitcoin alone, and that's the approach we're going to take with Unbreakable Coin. We're going to leave it alone. We have done so for a year. It's never broke. It's never gone into maintenance. It's made a name for itself this way. People like that it is, and I'll say it again, decentralized. Because in my eyes, it truly is one of the only decentralized crypto coins out there.
Wow. Okay. So you feel, well, let me ask you this. What changes could digital currency make in the world? I mean, what changes do you think it's going to happen, or
are you
do you
trying
want
to take
happen?
down the banks?
No, I have banks on blockchain technology to store information on permanent record, just like how it works with Bitcoin. I think they want that to work the same way with the transactions on their bank. But as far as like how could it change the world? Let's say some undeveloped country somewhere creates their own cryptocurrency. That would be the number one way, in my eyes, to have a donation system. Like these commercials you see on TV, save, defer, send money to such and such, use your credit card now. Well, somebody is somewhere, they're taking 10 or 15% of that money that's being donated to Darfur. Well, if Darfur started their own coin and they sold this coin to the world as a like a donation coin. You know, send us $100 and we'll send you so many of these Darfur coins. Well, now all of a sudden Darfur is making their own money, and they're not losing 15% or 10% to whoever did it for them. So it could essentially a crypto coin could help a third world country. I could also see it doing things even closer to home, like, you know, like a high school starting up a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
If it was like a school project and it took off, next thing you know, they can afford more books, and the government will, you know, fund them to do. Because obviously public schools are government funded and they own so much money. A lot of people complain about the education in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if a high school had their own cryptocurrency, they could possibly sell that currency and get better books, get everybody laptops, you know, install smart boards on the wall, things like this. So there's a lot of ideas that are still out there that are untapped with digital money. I mean, I couldn't believe that nobody had tried to build an auction site like we did that took multiple cryptocurrencies. It just makes so much sense, you know. But doing a little looking into the world, and there's a lot of things that haven't been built for cryptocurrency yet. So there's a lot of markets out there.
It seems like people who are, yeah, it seems like people who that, you know, at least here on the show that we talk to involved in cryptocurrency, they play it safe. Like they're willing to reach a hand out and say, okay, cryptocurrency is a thing, but then they have their left foot on base and they're like, but I'm going to try to convert it back into US dollars as soon as possible, or I'm, you know, or it's just how much is it compared to the currency backed up by a government? Like, will cryptocurrency ever really become anything more than just, you know, a different kind of commodity?
I think it's okay as just that. You know, I don't think it should replace government funds. I think that's just, you know, unless, I mean, is the government going to come out with their own cryptocurrency? Maybe in 10 years. You know, maybe crypto grows so big that the government gets scared and does it themselves. I really don't know. It's a really hard question. But I think that crypto will continue to grow, and it will become bigger and bigger each and every year, to the point where everybody owns some Bitcoin in some way, some fashion, somehow. I read recently there's a company out there called No, wait, I take that back. A company called 21 Inc. And they've just received a ton of money. You know, I think it was like $50 million. No, $160 million they received as a startup to start implementing mining chips in everyday devices like cell phones and PDAs, and basically that way anybody can start mining for Bitcoin. So yeah, it's growing in ways that I didn't expect it to grow a year ago. I didn't see that coming. But with $160 million, I'm sure they can pull it off. You know.
Wow. Yeah, I would.
It will keep expanding till everybody has some. Hopefully by then they'll all know what Unbreakable Coin is too.
Yeah, exactly. You think this is going to be have some impact in underdeveloped countries too?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I was mentioning. Like these third world countries could create their own coin, and you know, it would be a much safer donation system. Much safer. It would be cheaper in the sense that, safer in the sense that nobody could steal their money. I mean, I went through hurricanes in Florida and come to find out that the money that was sent to FEMA was stolen. And here we are in Florida, you know, no electricity, no gas, no water, can't get food anywhere. I mean, it was bad. And FEMA was stealing the money. Well, if these third world countries are getting donations through these businesses and foundations, you know, a lot of that's being taken by the foundation or corporation that's in charge of that donation system. And a digital money could stop that. They could just, you know, make the money themselves and not have to worry about, or receive the money themselves and not have to worry about people stealing it, things like that. I think there's a lot of room for cryptos in third world countries, actually. Now, they're not going to, I mean, you're not going to see, they don't even have cell phone systems over there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard that nobody's going to walk into a store and buy, a pie with Unbreakable Coin somewhere in Darfur. But the idea is there that there's other things that you could do. You could start a foundation that creates this coin that receives the donations. That would absolutely work.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to speculate a little bit. What do you think the future for Unbreakable Coin and in general? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Where are you going to be in the next?
Other than world domination, what are you going for?
Global domination? No. It's funny because I see some of the guys. They're so big into Unbreakable Coin. We've got one user out there. He goes by the name of Polka Dot, and he'll come out and say, "I've got the rocket fuels, or I've got the rockets refueled with UNB. We're ready to go." And he's always talking about space travel and stuff like that. I just would like to see Unbreakable Coin usage out there like Bitcoins. I'd like to know that people have an alternative to the alternative. When Visa came out, it wasn't just Visa. Visa, all of a sudden there was MasterCard, American Express. There's competition out there to the one digital money. You could say credit cards are the original digital money. So, Unbreakable Coin, I would like to see it to be a real competitor and real alternative to Bitcoin. Now, if they ever do anything to Bitcoin over there at the foundation and they mess something up and a lot of people lose faith in Bitcoin, it's very probable that Unbreakable Coin would, skyrocket in popularity just based on the fact that we're just like Bitcoin and we're not making changes. We've tried to stick to, like I said before, just leaving the coin alone, leaving it be a community coin, not something that any one person is changing or controlling. I'm tempted to lose my GitHub password just to make it more decentralized.
Exactly.
But
so do you think?
Real quick, is there anything that you would change the source code for, like in any meaningful way, like something that someone else would feel that they came out with this new piece of code that would make it three-way verified instead of two-way? Like, is there any way that you would change the code of Unbreakable Coin?
I would let Bitcoin be the guinea pig.
Okay.
It's kind of bad, but I'd let them try it first. A lot of people say, well, if it's good enough for Bitcoin, it's good enough for Unbreakable Coin, but it might not be. And I would let them be the guinea pig and see how the communities felt about it. Then I would put out a poll. I'd put out a large poll that would run for a long time asking the community, do you want to make this change? If you do, yes or no, and what's your wallet address so that I know you're individual, you're unique. And, I would leave it up to the community if they really wanted that change. But it would have to be something extremely significant. Something like injection technology maybe, or, where people can start storing pictures and images on the blockchain, stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But then you have to worry about other things like people trying to upload viruses to your blockchain. And, so it would, like I said, it would have to be something extremely significant for us to make the change. A lot of the changes that people have requested, because there's been, in the past, there's been requests for us to change certain things about Unbreakable Coin. In some aspects, those changes they asked for would have made Unbreakable Coin easier to get, which isn't fair to anybody who's been getting it for the last year, mining it. If all of a sudden we made it easier to mine, prices would go down. Same thing would happen with Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it's very hard to get Bitcoin. And Satoshi or, the Bitcoin Foundation hasn't come in and said, well, we're going to make it easier. And there's a reason for it. That's been the biggest request, to make it easier to get Unbreakable Coin by making our difficulty change more often.
Jim,
as it gets more difficult, it can also get less difficult.
Yeah. Someone just sent us something here about crypto. I want to see what this is. Right now.
Crypto, it's in crypto. Crypto, come and the crook go home. Safe. It's all safe, pretty safe. It's okay. Oh. Cracker come, but he won't break code.
Okay, well, I guess that was.
World gets small when the internet come.
Online come and we shot from home.
There you go. All right.
So they have their own theme song. That's good to know. That makes them reputable. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jim, I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. Very enlightening. I know a lot of questions about it. Unbreakable Coin. And again, you can go to our website at computeramerica.com, and we have it right there. We have the link to the website, unbreakablecoin.com. The link is up there as well. Again, I wish you the best of luck with it, and maybe you should come back with us the next few. Give it 6 months, and let's see how things are going with Unbreakable Coin. Okay.
Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to return again. And Craig, I thank you very much for having me on Computer America, and Ben as well. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. We're glad to meet you guys and talk about Unbreakable Coin. Wish we would have had a couple of callers, but that's okay. We had a good Day-O song at the end. You know?
Exactly. All right. Well, Jim, let's thank you again for being with us here on the show. Take care. Have a good evening.
Can I just say one last thing?
Oh, yeah.
If anyone wants to contact me, they can call me at 1-406-CALL-UNB.
All right. That sounds like
we're one of the only cryptos out there with a telephone number.
There you go.
Reach us anytime.
All right. Thanks again, Jim. Have a good evening. Good night. All right.
All right,
there you go. All right. What do we got? Computer and technology news coming up as well here on the Computer America Show. Some interesting stories in the queue, including the House approving an NSA reform, and also a virtual reality game that asks you to fight blind. Those stories and more coming up in hour 2 of Computer America.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
We just had Jim Blasco here from the creator of Unbreakable Coin. And it was kind of a catchy tune, Crypto.
That was different. That was different.
Exactly. But again, if you missed any portion of the interview, you certainly can listen to it again. We archive all of our shows at ComputerAmerica.com. We have many different places you can listen to it, and we have all the links there at our website at ComputerAmerica.com. You can see where something, for example. You can go to the guest calendar. Under news and blog, there's something called show archives. If you go to the show archive, there you can actually see all the different places that you can listen to the show. We also have audio links to Blog Talk Radio. It's another one that you can go and check out. All the different places that you can listen to the Computer America program. So again,
Computer America, also decentralized.
Yeah, it really does seem to be that way. All right, so we're going to continue on right now. Hour 2 of the Computer America Show. We also have a news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston, another new one coming up in later on in this hour of the program. And so, anything else you want to mention? Oh, you know what I should do is let me just mention our contest because, again, everything is kind of new up at our website at ComputerAmerica.com. But if you go to our homepage and then you go to Interact, you will see under Interact a Logitech contest. You can go there, click on that. The registration form for the Logitech contest is right there. You put in your name, address, your phone number, any comments that you like, and click the Submit button, and that's it. And we're going to use that until we've finished all that contest. That goes to like the end of May at midnight Eastern time. We shut that down, and then we'll start something else. And we're going to be as we have a new website, we're going to have new contests as well. Lots of ways to win interesting things. Of course, on Friday, we're going to have our, just by subscribing, going to our subscribe button. And again, that's on the bottom of every page at computeramerica.com. And you'll get new notifications of new posts by email. And also, I put you in our weekly Friday drawing where we're giving away the Logitech T650 glass wireless touchpad valued at $80. So, you know, and I know a lot of you are subscribing. Go ahead and do so, and you'll get us in the. You'll get yourself into the contest. All of our contests are completely private. We give your contact info out to no one unless you're a winner, and then we'll notify Logitech of your contact info so they can mail you your prize. But that's pretty much it. So head over to the website, check out all of our contests. They're going to be improving, and we're going to be adding new ones, and we'll also give away some different prizes. That's what we're continuing to change the face of Computer America, and we're doing so with our brand new website. And hopefully you'll go there and check out all the fun things. We have a new blog at Computer America. We have articles that we're writing, and with contributing editors. So certainly just check us all out. Check out everything that we have at computeramerica.com. You'll be glad that you did. And you know, you might win something really nice too while you're at it. Okay. So
oh, and I also remember I believe it was last Friday's show, if you wanted to hear a review of the Logitech touchpad. One of our callers called in and gave us a nice review. So you know, we like callers letting us know what they've won and how they like it. But yeah, he in the end, he's what rating system was he using? 2 thumbs up? I don't know, something like that. But
yeah, he gave it.
But he liked it. So yeah, no, I think that's about it though.
5 mice. I don't know.
5 mice.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's do some computer news then. Get started. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. You heard me. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. If they're not freemium, you don't use them for a while and they ask you for money. No, none of that. You download them. They're the full implementation of the products, and you can use them to your heart's content. They truly will clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. We use them here at the Crossman household. Very effective. We recommend that you download them. If you don't use them immediately, keep them handy so when you do need them, you'll be able to launch them and run them. But we recommend that you do so immediately, if not sooner. Slimwareutilities.com. Get them all. You'll be happy that you did, and you'll thank us for it. Slimwareutilities.com. And in our first news story of the day, according to Engadget, virtual reality, there's a virtual reality game that asks you to fight blind. Okay.
Okay, I can see that. Or I guess, no, you couldn't.
The window says they come to kill you. Listen very carefully and tap the touchpad to strike. Okay.
Very simple.
Yeah, virtual reality gaming isn't just about immersing yourself in visuals, according to this game. It can also be about sound. You know, I don't know if we really pay attention to sound that much. Everything is so visual today with video games. Visual. But, you know, sound is important too. And evidently, they have this experimental Gear VR game called Blind Swordsman. I'm wondering if this was based upon, there was a movie about a blind swordsman.
Blind Swordsman is a legend going back, I'm sure, many hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's not a unique concept by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, but Rutger Hauer was the actor who played the blind swordsman, and basically it was actually a very good movie. I had enjoyed it. But anyway, the idea here is that it has you, you know, fending off a trio of killers using only the directional audio cues in your headphones. So basically, you're gonna need a 5.1 surround.
Well, all of most of the virtual reality headsets come with 5, if not 7 point surround system
Okay. All right.
built into the headphones.
Yeah, because if you're using stereo headsets, guess what? You're probably not going to do this.
Well, then you're just fighting two enemies.
Okay.
There's one over here and there's one over there.
Yeah, exactly. So evidently the premise here is that you have to listen very, very carefully and then, face the enemy.
And my favorite, of course, we're not playing the volume for obvious reasons. For the YouTube video that they have up of it, but without volume, very clearly the video is simply a black screen. I'm sure you can hear the noises and the fighting in the background.
I could play this and see how this was. They come to kill you listening, and there it is.
Yeah, no, it shows you the instructions, but then you really get into it. And I guess it's just showing a creative way to use virtual reality without actually having to, throw images at you. It can essentially take away your sight and give you other forms of cues that you have to react to. Not like virtual reality isn't just about what you're seeing, but it's also about what you're hearing and what you're feeling at the same time. So it was a very unique way to use this virtual reality kit, but to use it in the opposite direction of not giving you something new to look at that makes you think it's real, but to take away your vision.
This is gonna be very creepy. I would think this is. You see, I hear people walking. This could be very scary. I would think.
The whole genre of horror virtual reality games, it has been talked about extensively, and really, people can't wait for them. It's going to be more than just fear of the video game. It's going to be more than just Slender Man. It's going to be video games and really horror movies that you are kind of stuck in the middle of. Like, could you imagine a movie where you're walking through a haunted house and you can control where to go, and depending on where you look, like it's not some kind of weird tunnel version of a movie where watch a movie 100 times over again, it's going to be the same movie every single time.
That's true.
And in these virtual reality environments, every time you go through this, and depending on which way you look, if you look behind you, if you look in front of you, if you look up, to your left and to your right, you're going to get a different experience every time.
Wow.
It's horror is going to be one of, I think, the best-selling genres on virtual reality, even though it's a niche genre right now.
Well, it's creepy. It makes the hackles in your back of your neck go up. You're hearing these sounds, and
oh yeah, you hear something and you look like let's say a game. You hear a door close behind you, and you whip around to look, and the door is obviously closed, but nothing is there, or there might be a monster there. Like it can immerse all of your senses so much more than any simple video game or any simple movie could.
Well, according to the story, it takes advantage of technology that wasn't viable until recently, such as cordless virtual reality and positional sound software. So, I guess it's available. You can try it out from Gear VR, Blind Swordsman, and
just a proof of concept. Although I've heard it's very, very fun. Just a proof of concept of what you can do with these systems, not just, hey, we're going to put you on a roller coaster and you're going to feel like you're on a roller coaster. We haven't even scratched the surface of what these virtual reality sets can do.
Wow. Okay. Very, very cool. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Next story. How about some conflicting legislation? It's always fun, especially for a technology show. This is from Popular Science, a personal favorite. And let's see. Mary Beth Griggs. Thank you for this. And yeah, so apparently the internet has been in an uproar since news broke on Slate that a new law in Wyoming would make collecting data illegal. And they said that it's illegal if you collect those samples with the intention of turning them over to a federal or state agency that could actually take action if there was a problem.
All right.
That is atrocious. So apparently people who were caught collecting data, they now have to have written or verbal permission to be there. The problem is the term open land is vague and could encompass everything from state and federal parks to privately owned land, and could even face trespassing to quote trespassing to unlawfully collect resource data and be given a $1,000 fine. Now, why this is bad?
Well, wait a minute. In other words, this got its start after a group of ranchers sued an environmental group for trespassing on their land to obtain water samples from streams that were contaminated with E. coli from cattle dung.
And here's where knee-jerk reaction legislation isn't always the best thing, because it conflicts with what you really want. So what this is saying is, let's say you know of an environmental disaster happening out in Yellowstone or where have you, some national park. You know someone is illegally dumping tires in a creek and it's poisoning the whole ecosystem.
Okay.
You go out there and you collect your water samples and all that kind of thing, and then you report it to a government agency. You can then be fined for doing that, for collecting data, to report the data to someone who could actually do something about it. The people who are in charge of doing something about it would then turn around and fine you for collecting data illegally.
That sounds unconstitutional.
It actually it's unconstitutional for a few reasons. Apparently, it's unconstitutional. First of all, it violates the Clean Water Act that was passed back in the 90s. It also violates the First Amendment, which is the right to petition the government. And I guess this is a form of petitioning the government. You know, you go out, you collect your data, you prove something is wrong, and then you petition the government to change it. So it violates a couple of the amendments, and
sounds like the First Amendment would be one of those too.
Yeah, you know, the First Amendment is pretty important. It's pretty good. People seem to like it for some reason, and yeah, no, they apparently not a good thing. It seemed like the right thing to do. Hey, don't trespass on people's land. But when they wrote it with such vague and broad terms, such as open land, and again, don't collect data from open land, it caused a few discrepancies, and it's obviously going to have to be rewritten, or else you're going to run into trouble trying to be not an activist, but trying to be responsible. Like, even if it's just a scientist trying to do field work, if you're just there to do a study, you can be fined, and if not, thrown in jail for just doing something that has forever since been perfectly normal.
Well, you and I, Ben, know somebody who said something that's always kind of stuck with me, and she said that it was it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Yes, Mother Teresa, beautiful lady.
But evidently, according to the citizens in Wyoming, they will have to ask for permission and not forgiveness if this goes through. So
yeah, and like the worst part is, let's say there is an environmental problem out there, and you go out and you say, okay, we know that people have been dumping and contaminating this area, but then the government says, okay, you're not allowed to go out there. Do not trespass on this land. Do not collect your data. Then, you go to the next government agency and they say, okay, where's your proof? And then we'll act on it. So you got two different parts of the same body telling you, don't go there. And the other one saying, if you're not going to go there, we can't help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just say
silly. So we thought we'd bring that one to your attention. Again, this one from Popular Science. It seems like they got a lot of their information from Slate, which had the original story. So, yeah, don't go tracking any buffalo anytime soon. You might get thrown in jail.
Yeah, you will. All right, now for those, again, we're talking about people who are visually impaired. This is kind of cool technology. There's a cane out there now that can identify faces.
Ah, yes, and it's touch sensitive, so all you have to do is just poke them in 12 very accurate parts of the face.
Yeah, let me poke you with my cane and let me see what your face looks like. No, it's not like that.
Should be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, white canes have been around since what? Well, World War II. Okay. Well, evidently, it's about time that they're giving a high-tech upgrade with this stuff. Evidently, some students in Birmingham City University recently unveiled a cane that has built-in facial recognition software, allowing a visually impaired person to recognize a friend or family member up to 33 feet away. Wow. 33 feet. That sounds like Bluetooth or something, because it's about the limitation of 30 feet. Anyway.
Jim is near. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Anyway, it's called the Explorer cane. That's spelled Xplor. The Explorer cane has an SD card fitted into the cane itself, which is a tiny little card, SD card, loaded with images of people that the user of the cane knows. In other words, okay, so you have your mom, your dad in there, your boss, whatever it is. You have people in here. And then a camera scans the faces that come into view and compares them to the database of pictures on the SD card. Okay? And when there's a match, the cane vibrates. And here it is. And Bluetooth connects the cane to an audio device in the ear, which gives the user step-by-step directions aided by built-in GPS. So there it is. I was right. So it's using Bluetooth. So it's this. Now, this obviously has to happen really fast because, you're walking along and then you see somebody and you've already passed them by. So I'm assuming this is all going to happen extremely quickly. The cane vibrates and then tells you in your ear, oh, hey, your mom is walking by here. Say
I
hello.
hope it's accurate. It's not like, Tim or someone or a reasonable facsimile to Tim is within 30 feet of you.
This could be very embarrassing because if you think it's your mom coming up to you and say, Mom, how you been? You give her a hug and it's not your mom. That's good.
Well, and also I think there's certain etiquette to perform when you're dealing with those who are blind.
Yes.
And I believe announcing yourself in their presence is considered polite.
Well, obviously they're going to know because, you're holding this very long cane with a white cane with a red tip. So they're going to realize you're blind. So they'll probably be a little more forgiving. They said, no, I'm not your mother, or I'm not your girlfriend or whatever it is. No, it's not me, in case it's not accurate. Now, obviously something like this isn't available yet. According to the story, they're going to do more testing of the cane this year, optimizing it so that it's both easy to use and lightweight, and hopefully that it will recognize people very accurately. Because how embarrassing is it going to be that you think, oh, this is somebody that I know, and then it's not the person that you know. It only takes one or two of that to completely lose faith in something like this. What?
Again, I think this is a tool. This is not a replacement for eyes.
No, of course not.
A replacement for common courtesy, but it's a neat device that, if it works in any capacity, could be something that's standard, because the technology behind it doesn't seem that complicated.
No.
Face recognition has been going on for a long time.
Right.
Building it into a cane, which then connects to a Bluetooth speaker in your ear, that is just something that hasn't been done, but it's not overtly complicated. Like, they didn't create face recognition for this device, so it should be working pretty safe. It should be working pretty soundly.
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, so basically, what do we got here? So this isn't the first time. The first team to try to update the white cane into a more active guide. And also, researchers at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock recently developed a cane, I get this, that can guide people, or people who are visually impaired, obviously, around obstacles, also using audio instructions connected by Bluetooth. So the cane's going to give you about what? How long can the cane possibly be? What is it average? About
5 feet.
5 feet, yeah, exactly. So now this can let you know that 30 feet away, you're coming up against a wall, or maybe a set of stairs. That's also crucial to know. So you'll get a little bit more of a heads up, what's ahead of you, rather than just what's because 5 feet when you're walking, 5 feet is not that much room for error. But if you know that 20 or 30 feet away from you, there's an obstruction of some sort, that's going to help you prepare for that. Gives you a little bit more time to prepare for it. And again, as you say, I'm for anything that's going to help people who are visually impaired. I mean, this is a terrific device. I'm only kidding around, but it looks like it's very cool, and it's not available yet, but it looks like that it's certainly in development. It doesn't say whether the other one from the University of Arkansas is available yet either. But the facial recognition one, yeah. Now, how many faces did it say you could load in there? Did it say how many faces?
I don't think it said how many faces. I can't imagine it would be, everyone you pass by, and it's like, random person number 33 just walked by. But no, it says that it's an SD card. So,
well, but SD cards now they can store gigabytes of
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they could probably fit plenty of profiles in there, as many as you need, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we thought you'd like to know about that too. It's a very cool piece of technology. All right, what else you got?
Yeah. How about this one? How about this one? Windows 10, and this made news, I want to say about 2 days ago. This made news everywhere. Windows 10 will be the last version of Windows ever.
No way.
But that was all speculation, and we've in this article from Ars Technica, Peter Bright here, he kind of hit what I think a lot of people who have been through this whole thing over and over again. He said what most of us are thinking. Windows 10 to be the last version of Windows until the next version. Because
wait a minute, that doesn't make much sense. This is going to be the absolutely last version of Windows 10 until the next version. Come on.
But it's like, this is the last version of the iPad. This is the last version of the iPhone. This is the last version of so-and-so product.
Makes no sense.
That never happens. Like, you can have incremental updates, but eventually, 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road, companies always want to freshen their appearance, rebrand themselves, because no one is immune to the effects of time.
Yeah.
And if you keep any product, for 5 years, it's going to start to look old.
And not only that, I mean, these companies are in the business of making money. This is how they make money. I mean, eventually it becomes obsolete, and you buy something new to replace it. And this is not only technology. This is with cars and refrigerators. This is how the world works. You buy things, they get old, they break, and you want to get something new. So why should computers be or operating systems be any?
Well, no, that's not a fair comparison to what they were talking about. They were talking about where, due to the incremental active development of Windows 10, this would be the last version. As in, they don't have to wait for the next release in 3 years to say, okay, we just redid the UI. No, they're going to try to push that update out the moment they have it, and they're going to try it in beta, and then they're going to push it out. They're going to do incremental updates instead of waiting for a huge giant push, which Windows 10 has said they're going to do.
Okay, well, I can understand that. That means you'll always have the freshest, latest version. They'll put these incremental updates, and they'll do that. But eventually, you're going to want change. They're going to do it.
Eventually, you build up some legacy, and no matter how effective your active development is, no matter how good you are at predicting the future, eventually you're going to want some kind of change, even if it's just for branding, even if it's just for marketing, even if no matter what it is, Windows is not exclusive to this. You're going to have to overhaul and push out a new product. Like, I really can't, like, you could even think things like Twitter and things that are based in the cloud, and Facebook, you may think of them as all just one version, but they've done some serious rebranding in their own time as well. And especially with something like an operating system that is clearly not just cloud-based, there's slim to zero chance. And check back with me after an eternity has happened. There's slim to zero chance that this is indeed the last Windows product we're going to be talking about. Yeah.
I mean, if Microsoft decides that Windows 11 would be a nice label to, for a marketing campaign, they're going to do it. I truly believe that's going to happen.
Like I fully expect Windows 10 to be much longer lasting than Windows 8 for sure, Windows 7 for sure, Windows Vista for sure.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, I just can't imagine a world where, sure, Windows 10 may be in active development for 5, 6, if not 10 years.
Right.
That's fine.
Never.
And as long as they keep updating it, perfect.
Yeah.
But no way is Windows 10 going to be the end all of all Windows operating systems.
It won't. You never say never. They can't. It might last longer. Usually it might like 5, 7, 10 years even because the version of Windows 10 that you'll have now, probably 5 or 7 years from now, will be completely different to the version you'll have, because you're continuing to update it incrementally. But eventually, they're going to have to have something.
If they're not going to do it for a purely technological reason, they're going to do it for a marketing reason.
Exactly. And I believe it. I mean, kudos to Microsoft for doing something like this. I mean, and it's great.
Well, incremental updates is definitely preferable to these giant upgrades where people have to wipe the slate clean and call it a day. People are definitely going to be jiving with the idea that, hey, I no longer have to, wipe my computer clean and put a new operating system on it. I just update it every couple months. People are going to like that a lot more. But to say it's the last ever, not going to happen.
I mean, Apple's doing this. OS 10, they have it right now. And, of course, they have free updates. But the point, and they keep doing it. But the point is not to the extent of what this article is saying that Microsoft's going to do. But, as I said, I think this could work. I really do. Hey, listen, we got a lot more computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of the Computer America. We've got a lot more stories coming up, including 90% of the world's electronic waste is illegally dumped, according to the UN. Lots more stories coming up. Stay with us. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf's staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
You'd never hear this if it wasn't for Marconi. This is Marty Winston with a news tips bulletin review for Computer America. This time the Ryobi 18-volt hybrid work light. We love the benefits that come with LED lighting, so when we saw all the tweaks in the Ryobi P720 work light, we had to get it in for review. You can power it either by attaching an AC extension cord to its recessed plug prongs or by using a Ryobi 18-volt OnePlus battery there. Its extremely nimble stand has feet for standing, a J-hook for hanging from a rod or a hole, a mounting hole for hanging from a nail or screw head, legs shaped for hanging over studs or a fence, and a full circle swivel to help direct the light. The light spreads 1,700 lumens broadly. It's hard to measure, but it seems to be a 150 to 160 degrees of beam spread. It floods an entire work area, and its 20-watt emitter is rated for 50,000 hours. Bottom line, with so many ways you can station it, 2 ways to power it, and 1,700 lumens to spread in front of it, the Ryobi P720 dual power 20-watt LED work light makes it rare indeed to have to work in the dark. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Let's see. We are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America.
Yes,
I believe they're scheduled to come on real soon again.
Yes.
Can't wait to have them back on and talk about their lineup and what they've changed and what has changed since the last time they were on, because it's been a little bit, and we'd really like to talk to them about everything that's been going on and see what's new over there. Because obviously they don't stand still either. So look forward to that one. But yeah, no. Right now we're doing news with a tech bent, and we just finished up the story about how Windows 10 will probably not be the last operating system version coming out of Microsoft. Yep. But Craig, I believe it's your turn.
Okay. Well, Walmart's in the news again. Right, because they're going to be testing. But they're going to test Amazon Prime delivery. Okay. Walmart has plans to test a new unlimited shipping service this summer for its online shoppers, and a move that undercuts Amazon's $99 Prime service. Now, you're a member of Amazon Prime. I know you really, really like it.
Yes, I am one of the exclusive 40-ish million people who are Amazon Prime users.
Well, evidently, Walmart is going to test this delivery subscription service, and this is how it works. Walmart will deliver items purchased through its website within 3 days for an annual subscription fee of $50. Okay. Walmart said the test will be invitation only and limited geographically, but it could not specify which markets would have access to the program. Okay. According to a company spokesperson, they said they're going to have a closed beta, which they're going to initiate later this summer. And this is evidently just one of the many tests that they have going on. There's also a company, Walmart's has a grocery delivery program going on. Now, the test that we're talking about here highlights Walmart's efforts to grab a larger share of the online sales market from Amazon, who is one of the internet's largest retailers. And also, this test is appearing to challenge Amazon Prime, which is the two delivery service launched 10 years ago. Okay, so I guess Amazon couldn't be the only one doing it. Obviously, a giant chain like Walmart felt that, hey, if they can Amazon, we can do it, and do it, for less money.
But I think Amazon, like their service really has excelled because they don't have brick and mortar. Walmart, obviously, they can cut costs left and right because of their huge bulk orders. Like they order so much, but they have, like, when you think brick and mortar, I think at this point Walmart is like the key example of brick and mortar.
Yeah, I mean,
have so much invested into it.
If you are a vendor of any kind and you get Walmart to accept your product, you're pretty much made in the shade. I mean, that has done it for you. That will put you on the map. Anybody else at that point? So because Walmart has the retail clout. I don't know how many stores they have, but they have a huge number of stores, and they can order in such bulk, such quantity. So if there was any company out there that would be able to challenge Amazon,
but I don't think it would be Walmart.
Why not?
because Amazon thrives on the fact that they don't have a storefront, that they are purely online.
Yeah, but you see, Walmart is almost, it has an advantage. Amazon's out of one. They have one basically large warehouse location. Walmart is distributed. They have products that are already,
like they don't. I really doubt that they have the infrastructure to deliver, like to do deliveries. Like they have a perfect system set up where if you want a beach ball, some yarn, you need some pliers and a can of compressed air to dust your computer off. Like you buy all of those random things in one giant warehouse like location. That's a Walmart. But to have, let's say I wanted two of those things and they need to deliver it to me, I don't think $50 is going to cut it, and I don't think that they have the infrastructure to do that.
I don't know.
Like they can totally put it in their warehouse of a store that is conveniently located 3 blocks in any direction of any person in the U.S. Like they have that down to a science. But for them to deliver it to your doorstep, I don't think they're set up for that. Like not only is that going to, like, first of all, $50 is a low price. So if they can get that, perfect, gold, good for them. But part of what makes Walmart successful is putting all these things in their store and then letting people, like, they know that when people buy computers, they put that in the back. Like when they're related to technology, you have to walk by food, you have to walk by clothes, you have to walk by furniture, you have to walk by so many different things, and they're counting on people walking into Walmart and not just walking out with the one thing they came in for. They're counting on people saying, oh, well, while I'm here, I'll also go pick up some bread and I'll also go pick up a t-shirt for my friend. Like you don't get that with online subscriptions. They're going to drive revenue away from themselves if they do this.
Well, first of all, this is why it's a test. They're going to see how it works. The test will offer more than 1 million of the best-selling items available in Walmart's website, which is about 14% of the 7 million items listed on their site. So they're going to try, and maybe they'll select the items that they think are going to be most asked for, and see how it goes. Now, the article says that the average Amazon Prime customer spends about $1,500 per year on their website, compared with $625 for non-members.
That makes sense. Because like $1,500 a year on Amazon for those who are subscribed, because you get free 2-day shipping. That is, potentially anywhere from $30 all the way up to $50 in shipping that you're saving every time you shop there. And yeah, you may be spending $100 every time you save it, but the saving on shipping cost is too good not to go to Amazon for.
Yeah, but look, Walmart's going to test their plan's going to be unlimited shipping service. It's an unlimited shipping service.
But again, they're driving. I feel like they're going to drive revenue away from themselves rather than making it up in online retailing.
On the surface, maybe it might seem that way, but obviously Walmart is
obviously smarter minds than us have talked about this and are doing it.
Yeah,
but I can't see this working. We'll obviously revisit this.
Yeah,
a little DJ moment there. We will obviously revisit this when it's out to the public, not just a closed beta. But personally, I don't think this is going to happen.
All right, you're going on record saying it's not going to happen, and I think there's very little that Walmart has done that hasn't worked. That is in my recollection. Walmart's been pretty successful in doing.
They've been pretty successful in paying people very, very little to do a lot of work. That's a good point.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. Okay. I think it'll be successful for them. They get enough people doing it and subscribing to it, even though it's half. So, in other words, Walmart will need 2 subscribers as opposed to Amazon's 1 Prime service subscriber, and 2 for 1. And but I think they're gonna, they have the clout. I think they have the clout to pull it off. Not many other people out there or companies.
They're a big name, but again, I don't see how they can pull it off.
Well, we'll see. All right. We'll come back and see how it goes. We'll remember this conversation.
Okay.
Okay. What do you got? Your turn.
Yeah. I guess it is my turn. Let's see. Craig, did you ever hear about the World Championships of Nintendo?
The World Championships of Nintendo. No, I have not heard of that.
Well, apparently it was, and yes, the last time this was held was 25 years ago. That is a year older than me, was the last one. So obviously a little outside my own experiences here. But this coming up for those diehard Nintendo fans as part of its run up to the Electronic Entertainment Expo next month. Nintendo will be hosting its first World Championships in 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. This one from Ars Technica, Kyle Orland, and apparently not a lot of details. There's not a huge press event going there, but they announced today they will be that they're going to be hosting these championships a week before E3 proper kicks off. And apparently Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé hams it up for the cameras, quitting his job to train for the tournament on classic hardware like the Power Pad, the Super Scope, and the Virtual Boy. That can be seen as a hint that the retro Nintendo titles will be an integral part of the tournament. So apparently the first and only Nintendo World Championships were held back in 1990, with Nintendo touring cities around the US to test player skills with a special 6.5-minute cartridge consisting of portions from Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, and Tetris. Winners of local contests got flown out to the finals at Universal Studios Hollywood, and they competed in one of 3 age groups for prizes, including a Geo Metro convertible and a 40-inch television.
Nice.
Fancy. Back in 1990, a 40-inch television, that was hot stuff.
Yes, it was.
So, if you've ever seen the movie The Wizard, it was a similar
competition. Yeah.
It was a similar thing. Like I remember seeing The Wizard, and they had the special cartridge where he had to time himself and be really, really super awesome at this 1 6-minute demo. But apparently the same tradition. So
Okay.
It will be a digital event. It's scheduled for 9 a.m. Pacific time on June 16th. And apparently the company will also be offering North American players nationwide the opportunity to play Mario Maker before it's released at select Best Buy locations on June 17th and 20th. So obviously a PR stunt, but for those of you who like nostalgia, right up your alley.
All right. Now, we just had Dim Blasco on the show in the first hour talking about his Unbreakable coin. Here's a story from Ars Technica. They've got something called the Venom VM bug called Perfect for the NSA, or for stealing bitcoins and passwords. This is an attack code exploiting virtualization flaw that could be available soon. Okay. So Just Patch critical vulnerability in widely used virtualization software is an ideal exploitation target for state-sponsored spies and criminals alike, phishing for passwords, cryptography keys, or yes, even bitcoins. Okay. Now the bug, which has a long name, but basically makes it possible for attackers to break out of protected guest environments and take full control of the operating system that's hosting them.
That's not good.
No. And this warning went out today. Okay. Now this was actually they had this morning. Now security professionals have publicly said its severity and is being exaggerated, though.
Wait. Who said it was being exaggerated?
Any security professionals.
Security. Okay, so the people who are in charge of making sure security is tight are saying that the security hole is small. Okay,
Okay.
Might be a little biased.
Well, they're saying that it can't be remotely exploited and can't be exploited on large numbers of machines in a single stroke. Okay, as in the case with most serious security bugs. In other words, you have to be there. You can't do this from a remote site. Okay, you have to be at the location. So that's one of the limitations, obviously. He said one of the security experts said that that the bug is still worth taking seriously. He says, for one thing, he suspects it will be easy for attackers to exploit the flaw. And for another, he said exploits could yield highly valuable assets on vulnerable machines, particularly on virtual private servers, which use that virtualization to segregate different customers' data on the same physical machine. Okay. So
yeah, no, bug, virtual machine, very, very bad. Keep an eye out for it. Really wanted to get in this article. We teased it before, but this is obviously the biggest tech story of the day involving tech and politics.
Okay.
And this is the House approves NSA reform.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. So the Republican controlled. By the way, the article that I'm pulling from Engadget. Jessica Condit, there we go. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives passed the USA Freedom Act on Wednesday in a sweeping 338 to 88 votes.
This happened today. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, top of today, 338 to 88. So obviously sweeping. Moving forward legislation that would curtail the NSA's bulk collection of data.
Are you talking about like on the the NSA knows every phone call that being made on
pretty much the NSA collecting all your phone's metadata, collecting all the emails going out, collecting even transcripts of phone calls. All of that is getting reformed. Like every post-apocalyptic conspiracy that turned out to be true about the NSA is obviously going to be reformed in some way. So let's read on.
Okay.
The bill now moves to the Senate, which must approve it or find a compromise by June 1st. This is when the provision of the Patriot Act that allows the NSA to collect metadata expires. The Senate is expected to vote by May 22nd. The White House supports the USA Freedom Act, though the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell opposes it and wishes to extend Section 215 of the Patriot Act, blah, blah, blah. And apparently they found that a federal court ruled that the NSA's collection of metadata was illegal. But yeah, the nitty gritty of it is that pretty much this all started with the Patriot Act, which let the NSA grow to the lengths that they were going to collect metadata, phone transcripts, emails, pretty much as much information as they could get their hands on. And it's going to expire June 1st of this year, regardless of what happens. So they'll stop doing it that way. But it seems like they're going for some sort of reform rather than just letting it expire altogether, which is still good. Because I don't think anyone has ever said in the past, in the past couple of years since all this, spying on our own citizens has come out, I don't think anyone has ever said, man, I wish the government was watching more of what I did. So good things. These are good things.
Okay. Here's a story that I really want to do. We've been talking about IPv4 and how the internet is going to run out of addresses, basically.
Don't you mean IPv6?
No. Well, we were talking about IPv4 and the fact that they're running out of numbers. The internet's number, and that's it. Basically, they're running out of internet addresses, and basically, they're saying that the North America will run out of IPv4 addresses this summer. That's it. Now, some companies might stall this by letting go of IPv4 numbers that they don't use. But other than that, you're gonna have to move to IPv6, which is going to be in the trillions, and hopefully that we won't run out of. But when they developed IPv4, they never anticipated the growth of the internet.
I blame the Internet of Things because before it was easy. It was easy. Everyone who had a computer needed one, and you had like what 9 billion of those, and you're like, oh, there will never be 9 billion computers anytime soon.
Oh,
but then every phone needed one, every washing machine needed one, everything needed one.
Yeah, your car, refrigerator, everybody's got an IP because the IPv4 address. That's how you are located. It's basically a number. Obviously, we have domain name servers that can convert that into things that machines can understand. But basically, it's a 1.2.3.4 number, and they're running out of them. So, but don't panic, because obviously IPv6 is already in widespread use. So there's not going to be a meltdown. We're not talking about Y2K. Remember Y2K, the big scare that everything was. IPv6 is fully implemented, and Facebook wouldn't even be functioning unless it had already migrated a lot of its servers to IPv6, for instance. So I mean, it's already in place. But real problems might come up for some smaller outfits. Okay, however, you obviously need compatible networking hardware to run on IPv6. And that could get a little expensive to replace if you've been holding on to IPv4 for as long as possible. And if you can't make that jump, you may have to buy those legacy addresses from somebody else, which won't be cheap. In other words, people are going to be selling their old IPv4 addresses to people who can't afford to upgrade their equipment to IPv6. Now, I'm not talking about end users here. I'm talking about, we're talking about companies. Okay, I don't think you have anything. I mean, my Mac now has been running IPv6 for a long time. And your Windows system also, it's already to do it. So, basically, you won't have to worry about your personal internet connections and favorite sites. There is a chance, though, that some of the smaller services we use have to shell out a lot of cash to maintain business as usual. But it's here, it's coming. They're saying summertime, it's going to be IPv6, and IPv4 is going by way of the dodo. It's gone. And but I'll tell you, once IPv6 is here, unless we go into outer space and and centuries from now, it might be. I mean, we're talking trillions of numbers here. They really take into it. I don't think the permutations. I don't think we're going to run out of IPv6 internet addresses anytime soon.
No way. Like, I know they were thinking that with the IPv4, and you're like, oh, but they ran out IP. Like you're talking about trillions now, not just billions or low billions. We're talking about upper ends of trillions of different combinations. So we'll be safe for a long time. I think by the time it isn't, I believe the Borg will be coming up with a solution instead. So do not worry.
No, don't worry. I don't know if we have time to do any more stories at this point. So let me just kind of direct all of our listeners to our brand new glowing website and check out some of the really cool features that we have there. Again, when you go to the home page, you can see you'll see the current show that's being broadcast. You can click on it. You can see, and now also we have all the past shows are there. All of our articles that are being written are there, and also on every page we have the Blog Talk Radio widget is installed. You can subscribe at the bottom of every page. We also have our tweet. Our tweets are going on right there at the bottom of each page. You can search the archives.
The website's worth poking around. So if you ever get a couple minutes, there's, I wouldn't say Easter eggs, but there are definitely things worth checking out.
Definitely. Go to our social media contests. So that's under the interact menu. You'll see some. So we have the Facebook, we have YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus, Instagram. We have a lot of the new ones that we're putting into place now. You can check those out. Also, our free software page is back up, so you can see all of our free software pages, including Slimware Utilities. Of course, they're the official optimization software of Computer America. We have them up there, and you can check out all the really cool products. And we're going to be adding a lot more of those as time goes on. Please check out our blog. You can, and also our guest calendar. You don't have to get the show reminder anymore. We phased it out because you can go and look at the guest calendar, and you can see all the guests that are going to be appearing on the show a month in advance, more even. You can go way out and see some of the terrific things. It's all at computeramerica.com, and we highly suggest that you do that. All right, coming up tomorrow, we're going to have team chat.
90 seconds.
We're going to have the co-founder and CEO of Team Chat, Baroud Seth is going to be on the show. Team Chat is a very interesting little app that you can put on your smartphone device, and basically allows you to, well, I guess what it says, chat with a lot of different people at the same time. It's being called the Smart Mobile Messenger.
60 seconds.
That supports large teams. It reduces message clutter. It'll allow you to customize your workflows. It's going to be very interesting, and we're going to have Team Chat on.
I love it when my workflows are customized and simplified.
Exactly. And then in the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news. More of that. Again, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Hey, again, I want to thank UnbreakableCoin.com for being on the show. Jim Blasco. He's still in the chat room, by the way. Stop in and say hello. And we are out of time, and we will see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, again, thanks for being here with us on our live video stream, or a little bit after the show that we do, our after preview or after post show. Again, thanks to everybody in the chat room. It was a lot of fun. And again, we'll see you tomorrow night with Team Chat in the first hour, and the second hour, computer technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.